Hey YouTube family, welcome to Coding Quill. Today, we are continuing our C programming series journey with our sixth topic of C statements and their expressions. So, what is statements? It is the individual instructions which makes up a program. So, basically it is a line of code that performs a specific action. Okay? So just take an example like we are instructing the computer to print hello world on the screen. So it is basically an example of statement, and after the execution this statement causes the computer to display hello world text as an output. Okay, so let's move on to the types of statements. So there are basically 6 types of statement. Okay, so the first one is your null statement. Okay, so basically this statement does nothing. It is mainly used for program structure, actually mainly used for a program structure. Okay, it is mainly used for the program structure or a placeholder purposes, like placeholder purpose. Okay, like we print any command as a printf, so we give some statements in this and semicolon. So this is also used for the placeholder purposes, and the syntax for this is nothing but your semicolon. Okay, so the second one is your expression statement. Okay, so this statement evaluates the expression such as your assigning value or calling a function, this kind of thing. Okay, so syntax for this is your simply your expression. Provide some expression or call your function. Okay, now let's move on to the third one, which is your compound statement. Or you can say block statement. Okay, you can also say this block statement. So this statement is treated as a single statement. Okay, this statement is treated as a single statement. And it is treated as a logical blocks of code also. Like you can provide your code in blocks, and you can enclose this and run these commands as well. Okay, and the symbol for the compound statement is your curly braces. Okay, syntax for this is your simply statements. Please bear with my writing, guys. So let's move on to the fourth one, which is your selection statement. Okay, So basically it is used to control the flow of execution. It is used to control the flow of execution. Okay. Based on the several kind of conditions, I can provide just conditions like your true and false. Okay. So it is also basically of three types. Three types. First of all, your if statement. Second one is your first one. Second one is your if else, and third one is your switch statement. So let's talk about the if statement. Okay. So it also execute a block of code only, when the specified condition is true. Okay, when the condition is true, the if statement will apply. So the syntax for this is the your if your condition as well, and you can say curly braces, you can provide any kind of statements, and curly braces close. Okay, now let's move on to the second one, which is your if else statement. If else, so it execute only one block of code only, one block of code. Okay, if a condition is your true, and another block if the condition is false. So in simple words we can say that first of all it solves only one block of code if the condition is true, and then the second block if the condition is false. Likewise, it can go up to several times if we put the if else command. Okay, so the syntax for this is the your if condition first, condition, and your statements under curly braces, statement codes, and then else, the curly braces will open, and you can put the statements and then curly braces close. Yes, now let's move on to the third one, which is your switch statement. So it is basically execute based on the matching cases. When the blocks of code or a line of code matches, then it will be executed. Okay, syntax for your switch statement. So your first one is your switch expression. then curly braces open. You can add a switch case. Yes, you can provide a case as a constant only, so use as constant. Then you provide a statements. Okay, then you use break command. Then you provide the second case, which is your case 2, or whatever you want to take, any constant, second constant. Yes, semicolon also, and then your statements. Okay, and after that you use the default function. Yes, your default function will be used after two case constants. You will be use the default statement, and you will provide any kind of statements like your printf, or you want to print any as a scanf. Okay, switch case, your break, provide one case constant and default. Yes, and then curly braces closed. Okay, now let's move on to the fifth one, which is your iteration statement. Or you can say the loops as well. Your loops. Okay, so loops are used to execute the code repeatedly. Okay, loops are used to print or execute command repeatedly, as long as your condition will be true or false. Your condition will true or false. Okay, so there are basically three types of loops. Okay, three types of loops. First one is your while loop. Second one is your for loop, and third one is your do while. Okay, so let's move on to the first one, which is our while loop. Okay, so it used to execute a code repeatedly until the condition is true. Okay, if the condition doesn't get true, then it execute repeatedly. Okay, so the syntax for while loop is your while condition, and you provide statements in curly braces. Okay, so let's move on to the second one, which is our for loop. Okay, so for loop is nothing but your code will execute a specified number of time you provide. Okay, if you want to provide that your code will run till 1 to 10, or 1 to 20. Okay, 1 to 10 or 1 to 20. how many times you want, you can provide and the loop will be executed. Okay, so the initialization, or you can say I will provide you a syntax. So in syntax only, you use a for condition, not for condition, the for and your initialization, that how many times you want to run a loop command. Or you can also give a conditions or increments okay, and after that only you have to provide your statements. I will show you that we can print a table of 2 in for loop command only. Okay, now let's move on to the third one, which is our do while. Okay, so it is basically similar to a while loop only. Both are similar only, but it ensures that the code will execute at least once before the checking the condition. It will execute only one time. Okay, it will execute only one time before checking your conditions. So the syntax is your do your provider statements and after that your while condition. Okay, now let's move on to the sixth one, which is our jump statements. So basically it is used to alter the flow of control within a program. It used to alter the flow of control. Within your program. So it allows the program to transfer control to different parts of the code. Okay, if I want that the code will execute from the previous line or next line, so jump statement will work there only. Okay, so there are basically 4 types of jump statement. First one is your break statement. Second one is your continue, and third one is your go to, and fourth one is your return. Okay, so let's see the first one, which is our break statement. So it is basically terminates the execution. Of a loop, or you can say it switches the statement. Okay, it switches the statement, like your break command will work here. So the syntax of the break statement is break only. Your syntax is break only. Now let's see the second one, which is our continue statement. continue statement. So basically continue statement work as it skips the current iteration. Okay, it skips the current iteration. So iteration is nothing but your anything which is in the repetition, or you can say the process of repeating steps. Okay, the process of repeating steps. So in continuous statement also it works like this only. First of all it skips the current iteration. When anything is in the flow, it firstly skips. Okay, and continues for the next iteration. So the syntax used is your continue only. Continue. Now let's see the third one, which is our go-to statement. So go-to statement just used to transfers the control to a labeled statement. Okay, so the syntax is your nothing but your go-to only. Go-to label, you provide some label. Okay, now let's see the last one, which is our return statement. So return statement used to exit the current function. So you see in our previous programs that we use a command at last, return 0. So this is the only statement we used to discuss as a return statement. So return statement nothing but it exists the current function, which the current function is going on. It basically exists, exit, not exists. It basically exit, and optionally return your value also. Return your value. Okay, so the syntax for the return statement is return value. Okay, now let's move on to the coding explanation of every C statements. So we are continuing from the if statement, not from the previous other statements, because other statements are very simple and easy to understand, like our null statement. So null statement only contains of semicolon. Second one is your expression statement, where you express or assign the values in a function. And third one is your compound statement, where you uses the curly braces and provide statement in curly braces also. Okay, so we will see in the if statement all kinds of these statements we will see in the if statement. So let's write the first one, which is our if statement. So we write hashtag include stdio.h int main curly braces I'll provide two values, int variable x equal to 20 and int your second variable y equal to 10. Okay, this is for a if statement. Now I'm using the if command. If, so I'm creating a greater than and less than feature, that if x is greater than y. Okay, so it will print, that percent d, which is your variable x, is greater than percent d, which is your variable y, and I'll say that first percent d, which is your this, is your x, and second one, which is your this, is your y. Okay, and I'll print a return command 0. Okay, so this is for an if statement. Let's save this. In C programming. Okay, let's build and run this. Oh, sorry, semicolon, that's much important. Oh, a very silly mistake this is. Now build and run this. You can see 20 is greater than 10. Okay, I provided that if x is greater than y, then it will print percent d is greater than percent d, which is your x and y. So now I'll change this 20 to 10 and 10 to 20. Let's see what happened. See, nothing will print. Okay, so this is the use for the if statement. One more time. 20 is greater than 10. Now let's see the second one, which is our if else statement. So simply we copy this code, Control C and Control V. Okay, we do nothing but we'll provide else command here. After printf, we'll provide else command. Okay, curly braces open close. We will do printf percent d is not greater than percent d, which is your x and y, x comma y. Okay, so this is your if else statement. X is equal to 20 and y is equal to 10. if x is greater than y, then it printed that x is greater, 20 is greater than 10. Now if I change the value, that I'll provide 10 and this as 20. So x is not greater than, okay, let's save and build this file. This is your if else. Okay, now build and run this. You can see 10 is not greater than 20. Okay, so this is the work for the if else statement. Now let's see the third one, which is our switch statement. So simply we paste this command. This is your switch statement. I will remove this. So in switch statement, we will write the switch command, switch switch, and provide a variable, like I can provide x or y. So I'll provide simply x and write the case for this. Okay, so in variable x it is written at 20, so we will write case 20. Whatever is written in the x variable, we will apply in on our case command. Like if x is written as 20, we will apply 20 in our switch case, as switch as x, variable x, and their case is 20. Okay, semicolon. We will print the command printf. We will write value of x is 20. Okay, otherwise it will get break and provide a default variable, sorry, not variable, default function. It will show you the printf as a value of x is not 20. Okay, apply semicolon. Now let's build and run this. Switch statement. Default semicolon. You can see the value of x is 20. Now if I change the value, as I provide switch and variable x, in case I provided 20, Now I'll provide the x as 10, okay, which is our y. So you can see value of x is not 20, means this printed, okay. Value of x is 20. Now let's move on to the iteration statement, which is our loop, okay. So the first one is our while loop. So we will write include stdio.h into main I will provide variable int x constant as 10 this is your while loop. I'll use while command while x is greater than 10, or you can say x is greater than 0, then it will printf %d x and semicolon, and the values will be decremented, okay. Otherwise it will print the new line, which is our /n. One more thing, while x greater than 0 printf -t, okay. Now save this. While loop. Now build and run this. Oh, it wants a gap, so just simply press a space after a %d if you want a space or a neat and clean code output. Yes, you can see 10.987.654321. This is for your while loop. While x greater than 0, it will print x in decrement, okay, in opposite direction. Now let's move on to the second one, which is our for loop. So, include stdio.h int main this is for your for loop, okay. I will write for int I equal to 1, I equal to your no not equal to, I less than equal to 10, and your I plus plus, okay. So it will print %d, which is our I, and I will provide I. And after that return 0. Okay, let's save this as for loop. Build and run this. You can see 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Now I'll show you how to print a table of 2 in a for loop. Okay, so simply do for int I equal to 1, just I'll change this 2. It will start from 2 and increment till 10 with a spaces of 2, means 2 it will jump to the 4. Okay, after 2 it will directly skips 2 function and jump to the 4. So let's print this. Oh, sorry. Print a %I. Here you also have to print plus plus. 2 2 to 4 2 to 6 2 4 8 2 5 10 till you can print it at 20 till 20. Okay, now let's move on to the third one, which is our do while loop. So hashtag include stdio.h into main this is for your do while. Into your I'll providing x as a 10. Okay, and writing of do command. It will simply print that %d, which is our x, x minus minus. Okay, it's decrementing. And then we will use while command while x greater than 0, printf, it will form the new line and return 0. Okay, and I'll providing x as a 10, so it will do command I'll used, so it will do printf %dx, it will print as x minus 1 means decrementing order, while x greater than 0 it will print from the new line. So let's save this command as your do while. Now let's build and run this. Oh, in decrementing order, but we will use the while also, which it doesn't show. Now let's move on to the jump statements. So the first one is our break statement only. From the jump statements, include stdio.h into name and this is for our break statement. We will use for loop for this, like int your I is equal to 0 and I less than equal 10 and I plus plus, simply. Okay, now let's the third curly braces, and I'll provide if I equals 3, okay, then simply it breaks. That's why I'm thinking why it doesn't. Yes, now it's okay. If we open the third command, it simply breaks. Okay, and it will print %d, which is our I. And now return 0. Okay, let's save and run this as break statement. You can see 0, 1 and 2. When the 3 comes, it gets breaked. Okay, if I'll provide here as 5, it will go up to 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and when the 5s come, it automatically get breaked and print the whole I here. Okay, now let's move on to the second one, which is our continue statement. Hashtag include stdio.h int main. This is our continue statement. For int I equals 0, I'm also using here a loop command in continue statement. For I equals 0 and I less than equals 10 and incrementing of I plus plus of 2 times, so it will continue. It will also show the yes, I equal 2, then it will continue. Continue. And print the new line. Yes, and here I will write printf your %d/n, and here I will return the value, return 0. Now it's completed. Let's save and run this. It's showing me the garbage value now. Now you can see it showing the command 0 1 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. The number 2 has been removed, and when the number 2 has removed, it automatically continues from the next. Again you can see 0 1 2 is missing and 3 4 5 6, so basically it continues. And when the garbage value comes in the terminal of output, simply close your ID, whatever you are using, and try to run that same program 1 or 2 times. It automatically clears, or you can clear your temp files in run. Go and simply type %temp% and delete all the files from there only. It's basically a temporary file. Okay, so now let's move on to the last one, which is our go-to statement. Basically last one is our return statement, but return has always defined in our codes return 0. It automatically returns. Okay, so now let's go on to the last one, which is our go to statement. So hashtag include stdio.h into main. This is your go to statement. Go to statement. Your I is equal to 0. Okay, and in go to statement I am using the loop as a label, which I told you that loop and label. So the label is our loop, sorry, and if I less than equal to 10, it will print your %t and I. Okay, and you can provide your increment also, like I plus plus. And now I'm use the go to statement as go to, and the label will be your loop. Okay, so basically this go to loop is usually jump back to the loop label. In this one, this is the our label, which is our loop. Okay, so basically this go to statement used to jump back to this go loop level. Okay, now return 0. Let's save and run this. Go to .c. You can see 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Okay, it basically jumps to this loop level and continues till 10. Okay, so thanks everyone. If you found this video helpful, then please like, share and subscribe. Till then, see you on Tuesday 20th of February with a new topic.